If you are somebody who struggles with agoraphobia and panic attacks and you really want to get to a place where you feel like you are living your life again, I am going to share with you the most valuable advice that I can personally think of to help you get back to a place where you feel like you're doing something more than just existing and passing the time. If this is the first video of mine that you've watched, my name is Lauren. I am an author, a podcast host, a YouTuber, and somebody who spent a significant portion of my life dealing with panic attacks and anxiety. I was housebound with agoraphobia for 2 years, and now I am in a place where I am a mum to 2 girls. I work 4 days a week out of the house. I travel and I drive, and I am not in any real way impacted by like fear or panic or all of that kind of stuff. That's not to say that I don't still experience panic and anxiety, because I do, but I've spoken about that at length in many other videos and lots of other content that I've put out, so I'm not gonna ramble on about it because this video is about you. So there's one thing that I think is the most important when it comes to recovery from agoraphobia, and I think that we get it really wrong, and it's not through any fault of our own, because I think it's just human nature to want to look for like the most efficient way to go about something. Not so much the easiest way as in like kind of the laziest route, but the easiest way is in the way that's going to get us there the quickest and with kind of like the least amount of effort. Because let's be honest, if you are experiencing agoraphobia, if you are housebound, if you are having panic attacks every day and really severe anxiety, you are already exerting a lot of energy on just trying to get through the day. So completely understandable why you would want to find a way to recover, find a way to feeling better that doesn't also involve a lot of hard work. So we end up searching for like the one medication that's going to fix us, or we search for like the one book that's going to help us the most, or the methodology that is going to finally fix our fears and beat this thing for good, and lots of other phrases that people use when it comes to talking about anxiety. But the thing is that the more we spend time doing that, sorry if you guys can hear my dog tip-tapping around, the more we spend our time doing that, looking for the one medication and the one book and the one solution, we actually get worse during that time, because the thing that causes us to be housebound, the thing that causes us to feel so limited, was not one single thing, even if there was maybe an event that happened that really shook you and was kind of the reason that you became agoraphobic or started experiencing panic and anxiety. The reality is that all of that stuff built up over time, even from one singular event. It built up over time and over the course of hours and weeks and days, and I said that in the wrong order, but you know what I mean? Like, it built up over time, and you started repeating behaviours that got you to where you are now, got you to a place of feeling stuck. One of my recent podcast guests put it really beautifully when he said this.
It was just these little safety behaviors which start to like cast a vote towards validating the irrational fears.
Yeah. So it ends up being lots of little behaviors that you repeat over and over, and over time, these behaviors solidify to like building this brick wall around you so that you feel completely stuck. And you spend all your time solidifying the identity of being someone who is deeply afraid. And so all of your behaviors, all of your thoughts, all of your actions kind of, as Elijah said, cast a vote towards being this person who is extremely limited. And that is no fault of your own. It's not a deliberate thing, especially when we are afraid of something. I think those habits and behaviors solidify much quicker because our body is trying to keep itself safe by doing everything that it can to not go in the direction of the thing that hurt us, right? So you learn these behaviors really quickly of trying to keep yourself safe, and they become really or feel really unbreakable. This is why I think the most valuable advice I can give you is that it's not about finding the right medication necessarily, or finding the program that's going to help you the most, or reading the advice, or finding the answer. What actually is going to help you is the same thing that got you into this feeling state, this acting state, this behavioral state, and that is repetition of small behaviors over time. And that can be really annoying, because it's like, well, that means that it's going to take time for me to get better. But don't forget that it took time for you to get to the place that you're at now. Even if it happened quite rapidly, it was still a series of events and behaviors and thoughts and actions that got you to where you are now. And so to get unstuck, so to speak, it's going to mean that you are going to have to repeat a series of behaviors and actions and thoughts and, states of being. What that means then is that you are going to have to start taking little steps every day in the right direction. And I know how frustrating that is, because you want to be better now. You want to be better yesterday. And little steps is like, it's not enough, It's not going to get me to where I need to go quick enough. It's not going to make a big enough difference. But over time, these little steps every day are actually going to make more of an impact than this big event that you might think is going to be the thing that changes your circumstances. To give you an example, I used to think that, if I could just go on like a trip, like if I could just get myself to get on a plane and go overseas, then I would be cured. If I could just, get in the car and go and like drive around Australia, or just like one big thing, I was like, then I could beat this. But I did those things, or at least I did. I went on a plane and did an 8-hour flight overseas and stayed overseas for 2 weeks. And I came back not feeling cured. I came back feeling very anxious and panicked. But I talk about that more in a book, and I'm going off on a tangent. If you want to hear about that story, you can read my book. It's all in there. But the point is, it wasn't these big things that I did. Like, it wasn't this one massive leap that I took towards feeling recovered that made the biggest difference. The biggest difference was doing little things every day. And that's the shit answer, really, when it comes to agoraphobia and anxiety and panic. There's not one simple solution that's going to help. It's going to be you doing the work day after day. And the best thing that you can do for yourself is to repeat the behaviors that you want. So whatever it is that you want for your life, whether it's that you want to be able to go out for dinner with friends every day, or you want to be able to get a job, or you want to be able to, you want to be able to travel, you need to do those things repeatedly. Obviously, with travel, there's some limits there, and that you probably can't get on a plane every day, but you need to keep going out of the house every day. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to suck, and you're going to panic. And some days it's going to feel far more difficult than others, but on the whole, it's going to feel quite difficult for a significant period of time. What I can guarantee you, though, is this. If you keep waiting to find the solution, and you keep waiting to find the right medication, and you keep waiting to find the answer and to feel better in order to get out there and repeat these behaviors, not only are you going to be waiting a long time, but it's also going to get harder. It's going to get harder not only for you to get out there once you eventually do, but it's going to get harder for you to stay inside. And I know that because that's what happened to me. Like, in the beginning, it was like, okay, home is where I feel like the most safe. Not safe, but the most safe compared to everywhere else. But eventually, even at home, I felt just as terrified as when I was out. And my comfort zone and my area of being able to exist got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until I couldn't even exist inside of myself anymore. And it was the worst pain. So you need to start today, now, as soon as you can, this moment. And you need to pick a small behavior and you need to repeat it every day, again and again and again. And this is why I always say start with going for walks outside, even if you can only walk one letterbox away. Do one letterbox, and then tomorrow go to the next letterbox, and then the next day maybe you just go to your letterbox again. You don't always have to increase every day, but you just have to do it every single day. The repetition is what is going to help the most, and it's just the small steps. So don't worry about making a huge leap in the right direction. Don't worry about making this big life affirming movement that's going to, alter the course of your life. Just do the small things every single day, repeatedly, and eventually you will find that you are actually living again. You're living a life again. You're not inside waiting for the panic to ease so that you can get out. You are out doing things every day, and you'll look at yourself and go, wow, a year ago things were completely different for me, and now I'm like getting out and living again. And I think, hey, maybe I actually want to get on a plane in a couple of months. Maybe I want to go on a big holiday. Maybe I want to start a new job, or whatever it is. You'll find that you start saying yes to things, and if you are somebody who has spent so many years saying no, it's gonna feel amazing to start going, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do something amazing. This fly is annoying the shit out of me. I hope that was helpful. I know it seems like the most useless advice, the most unhelpful advice, but I promise you it's the thing that it's going to make the biggest impact and the most difference in your journey. Small steps every day, repeatedly. I wish you all the best. If you want to find out more about my personal journey, you can get my book. It's called Here You Are Courageous. It is available on Amazon. I will link it in the description. You can also head to my website. You can watch my other videos. My podcast is called Us Anxious Folk. I talk at length about all this stuff. So if you want to find more out about what I'm about, feel free. Otherwise, please take your small step and keep at it. You'll get there.